Legends fans, welcome to ABL Series Week 3. I am Fridge. I will be doing the color casting this evening, and I'm joined by Jihoon tonight. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. We're a little bit behind schedule here. Everything's kind of been a little bit crazy here for the casting squad this past couple of weeks, but looks like we do have everyone in the lobby, so waiting for some readies, it looks like. We'll be just about good to go here. Tonight we have Cerberus going up against Conqueror. Should be a pretty exciting match. Do you have any predictions for this evening?
Well, I have Warhog on my fantasy team.
Okay, so you're you're looking there.
But then again, I also have Koros.
Oh crap!
I don't know.
I gotta be honest, like with the I talked. Oh, this is really awkward because I talked last night actually with what's his nuts now, Zohan. I don't know why that name didn't come to mind for a second, but talked last night with Zohan because now half of my team for fantasy is completely out.
Yeah,
I had 4 players from BPS on mine, and I forgot to send in new players, so I got nothing. Oh, jeez, this is gonna be awkward. All right, I don't know how that's gonna work out, but oh well. I was at work, and I was like, all right, I'll get back to him when I get home from work, and it just completely went over my head. Well, that's awkward. I think I lose. Oh man. Pro draft or no? I say no.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed on no. We're hoping for a no-go on that. Looks like they're saying no as well.
I cannot type in chat. Okay, going anyway. Okay, cool.
I was gonna give him the R anyway, so no big deal. We are in Champion Select. Let's do this. So we got. What's up?
I'm not super sure about what everybody plays yet because I haven't been watching, or I haven't been part of AVL too long. But I know Warhog like the back of my hand. So
I've been watching, but I have not really. I pretty much got home from work and started this up again. This past couple weeks, it's been pretty much the same thing for me. Come home from work and then immediately Mighty Rise like, hey, so we need someone to stream tonight. Are you able to do it? And so
yeah.
I come home from work and frantically scramble to get the stream set up, and no time for anything else really. But that being said, we have Darius and Zareth taken off the board by Cerberus, and on the other side of the Conqueror has taken off Kaisa and Irelia. Both really strong picks, banned away from Conqueror. And the Zareth, not the most popular pick by any means, but he's pretty good at control in the mid lane, so if Chor was a pretty good Zareth, then I don't blame them for trying to take that away. The wave clear's pretty strong, and the long-range poke is kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, and you can see a couple target bans for Fluffy there with the Aurelia and the Orianna. I know Warhog is not a huge Aurelia player. He's not super confident in his Aurelia, so I'm assuming those are bans towards Fluffy.
Now, the weird thing with this is Aurelia can quite literally go pretty much anywhere now. I mean, I would say maybe not support.
Yeah.
Maybe not support, but like, this could definitely be a ban towards Pixel if it's something he's been spamming this past week or so. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I didn't even really get a chance to do anything other than set up the stream after I got home from work, but very, very versatile pick in the current meta. I've even seen a jungle, though it didn't do well, but
yeah, that's clear isn't great.
It didn't do well, but I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
So, that being said, we do have the Graves locked in. It's been a pretty solid jungle pick here for, I don't know, the past 2 months, I would say.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen Solex play it.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Definitely have seen him play that. And then on the other side, we got the Renekton and Ezreal locked in. Ezreal, pretty strong AD carry for probably about the same period of time. Actually, really, most of the season he's been good, but he's kind of gone from, like, really good down to, like, good, and then now back up to really good again.
Yeah.
And then Renekton, pretty much ever since Conqueror came out, he's been kind of relevant, but I mean, even more so now with a couple of item changes going to his benefit, so...
Yeah, that Essence Reaver.
The Essence Reaver being the big one there, basically perma-stun locking a target of his choice.
I'm just glad that they didn't ever release that item where it gave, what, resistances? That, I don't remember what it was called, but you could just build it and tank 5 people for free.
Oh, I don't even know now. I know they're talking about re-releasing, and I mean, I shouldn't even say talking about it. It's pretty much it's confirmed. It's just not out yet. The Atma's Impaler,
yeah,
which was in the game before, but it's coming back with some slight changes. That's going to be next patch. That'll be a story for later on. But that looks to probably benefit Renekton even more when that re-releases, because what that's going to do is it's going to actually give you, for every second in combat, you're going to get extra AD based on your max health, up to 2.5% additional, or 2.5% of your max health. So, could be really strong on champions like Renekton, Garen. Those are the two that kind of come to my mind. Those are the two that come to my mind initially, but...
Spear of Sojin is the item that I was thinking.
Okay, yeah. I remember briefly looking at that one, but not really, because, like, I don't really read through all the patch notes until after the patch. I'm lazy, and...
So I've got a question for you. Where do you think that Swain is going? Do you think it's going to go to Warhog, Fluffy, or Pixel?
Well, the best part about this pick is it can really go anywhere, especially in this meta. We talked about the Irelia being able to pretty much do the exact same thing. But I could definitely see, I know I see Quadra mentioning the Swain Morgana combo in the bot lane, that double snare and pullback. That'd be certainly something I could see going pretty well for them down there. But I just like the fact that they picked it where they did, because it really can go anywhere.
Yeah, other than that Graves power pick.
Alright, other than the jungle, which is already locked in. But pretty much, alright, we're going to assume again, probably not Skylar. But
yeah, Skylar probably going to be on that Morgana.
Would certainly appear to be the case here. The Jax and Thresh are now locked in from the side of Conqueror. Looks to be Jax going over to Virgin Eco here in that jungle. And if I remember correctly, he was a pretty solid Jax. It's actually been a bit since I've seen Virgin Eco play, though. If I remember right, he was a pretty damn good Jax.
Yeah, I remember seeing him last season a bit on the champion, I believe. I mean, you never know. It could be Jack's bottom. I played that today.
That is possible. With the Ezreal here, I'm expecting that to go to Clock. Yeah, but it could go to Choro too, for all I know. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff you can do with the meta these days. So, Clyde being locked in does make it look like it's probably going to be Swain either going to Pixel or to Fluffy. With that brand basically filling the other role. I would assume they're probably going for that Swain Morgana bot lane, like what Quadra was mentioning.
Yeah, a big possibility there.
Clyde going up to Warhog in the top. Now, does he go for something like press the attack, or do you think he goes Conqueror here?
I think he goes Conqueror. I was playing with Warhog earlier when he was playing Clyde. And I believe he took Conqueror, but I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
But it looks like we are going to be able to tell the team comps right now with Renekton, Jax, Vel'Koz, Ezreal, and Thresh, respectively.
Are they running the brand Morgana bot? I mean, either would be good, because like if Morgana can land the binding, you've got a lot of damage coming out from really either Swain or Brand.
Yeah, the Pillar of Flame is going to be huge there.
Brand a bit more bursty a little bit earlier, but Swain just becomes a monster when he hits the mid-game.
Yeah, there's not a lot to do against the Fed Swain, so...
And Quadra's upset. Poor Quadra.
Disappointed.
Well, we might be here to console you for the next couple of games here. Maybe next game. There's always next game, buddy.
Yeah, you can always, if you want, at any of the members of Cerberus in the Discord, yell at them.
That's true. You could. I'm even like, wait. I don't think anyone from Cerberus. I don't think anyone from Cerberus is following me on Twitter. I was gonna say because I got some Conqueror. I think I got 1 or 2 Conqueror players following me or something. So you could add them on Twitter otherwise, but I was gonna say I can get you the links, but I guess I don't think I have anyone from Cerberus. What are you doing, Cerberus? I need to look more popular than I am.
Yeah, I think I have like 2 Twitter followers, and they're both bots. So I get those like the like where they at like 40 people in one tweet. Like, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Like,
thanks.
Very attractive European girl in their picture.
We all start somewhere, dude. We all start somewhere.
It's just because I don't tweet that often.
I did. See, I didn't. I was one of the last people I know to actually get a Twitter account, and then after I started like streaming and stuff pretty heavily, I was like, you know what, this Twitter thing's not so bad for this because
yeah, good to
notifications. I can post about my stream. I can market with people on Twitter and stuff like that too. It's pretty nice actually. But actually, I had one of the best Twitter. It was one of the dumbest, weirdest, but Twitter moments. It was like last year I went to Las Vegas, right? And I mentioned something about how I was going to Las Vegas before my plane left. Like, we were sitting on the plane waiting to leave, and I was like, "Yo, won't be streaming this next few days. I'll be in Las Vegas." Didn't like at anything for Las Vegas. Didn't hashtag anything like that. Just mentioned it in the tweet. And when I landed, I opened my phone up, and there was something saying like, "Oh yeah, come to all these sweet nightclubs in Las Vegas while you're in Las Vegas. We got all these sweet strippers and stuff." I'm like, "What the? I didn't even like. How did you find this? Like, I didn't even like hashtag anything. I didn't add anyone. Like, someone was like stalking."
They've got to have bots doing that.
Oh, it's without a doubt it was a bot.
Las Vegas.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Anytime Las Vegas is mentioned in a tweet, the tweet could be like, "God, I hate Las Vegas. Yeah, come to these clubs."
Speaking of which, let's hope you like it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Anyways, I suppose we should we spent 3 minutes talking about Twitter. All right. That's what we do here. All right. Let's talk about the game for a minute here before we get too far into the game. So we got the Clud versus Renekton. That one is a bit of an interesting matchup. I think Renekton will have an alright time early on, but
yeah, I think that's a matchup that could go either way.
But definitely, I agree, could very easily go either way there. Have not actually seen Warhog play the Kled. You mentioned you have, so I'm sure you know a little bit more about his Kled than I do then, but
I mean, I've seen it in normal games where he tends to be a little less serious there.
Okay.
I've definitely seen
just
him
like the I don't care.
Before.
Just the I don't care mentality. I love it.
Yeah, it fits Kled pretty well as a champion though, where you get that passive for running at the enemy even if you're like 2 health.
Yeah. Oh, this is interesting here. Wow, that loaded so fast. Like the
Yeah, I was looking at keystones and then it just disappeared.
I hadn't even swapped the scene yet. It took like 8 seconds. Jeez, alright, so something interesting to note here is the press the attack on the Renekton as opposed actually and the Kled as well, but it doesn't surprise me as much on the Kled. That's loud as balls. I'm gonna turn it down just a touch here. Holy crap. Alright.
Keystone. I guess it is kind of interesting to me that Ran took heal instead of something like teleport. But
interesting.
I mean, it is bottom lane, so
I've seen the fills in that role like take heal a few times. I've seen teleport a few times as well. I just call it fill because it's not really AD carry anymore. I don't really know what to call it. But the bot lane, I don't know, yeah, but like even like Vladimir's and stuff like grabbing heal, and honestly, it's super annoying. Like I played against it a couple times in the past, I don't know, couple days, and you feel like you got a Vladimir killed. Like, you even getting him, like, to a point where you kill him normally, and you're like, oh yeah, I got this guy, and then, like, he hits his Q and heals, but then he's got a heal on top of it. It's like, come on, man, like...
Yeah, and then he's half HP again.
It's already annoying enough. Just give me a chance, dude. And heal's been nerfed its fair share, but, I mean... It just gets to be too much at that point.
Yeah.
That being said, I have not seen Brand Morgana bot, but I do kind of like the idea of it. That's a lot of bursts that you can put down out of Brand, if that CC lands.
Yeah, or you could land the CC for Brand first,
right?
And follow it up with the Morgana route.
And it's pretty free if it's pretty free if that binding lands. So, it like you said, you could really get the CC from either target, but it's pretty freebie if that Morgana's able to land.
Something that I haven't seen very often, it could be done more. Toro's actually probably a much better mid laner than I am, considering I am a low elo support main. But Electrocute on Vel'Koz, I'm not super familiar with that.
Vel'Koz has some pretty low cooldowns on specifically his W, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But you get 2 charges of it, so you can use that twice auto attack, or if you land your Q, you pretty much get a freebie off, and it's just extra poke damage, really.
Yeah, and I guess against something like a Swain it'd be better, too, because you're going to be hitting them with abilities a lot more. It's not like you're just going to be, or because you're able to walk up, you're not necessarily just going to be sitting behind your tower throwing out Qs. Like
yeah, and
I always do.
I suppose that actually kind of goes well with that true damage on his third ability that lands. A little bit of an engage here from Renekton.
Yeah, we'll dismount Warhog on the Kled.
Little Yoshi goes running away, and Binding barely misses in that bot lane. Or, Binding and Hook, technically.
Yeah. Brand is going to be throwing out some Pillars of Flame just to maybe hope for some damage and also clear the wave. Get that priority. Or salvage any priority. But it looks like we're going to be having our first gank in the mid lane. So Alex going to dash in, throws it there, and he's going to stun him up. Of course, we'll pop the barrier, though. He will survive. Looks like Solex might go down. The Ignite, I believe, or no, not Ignite. The Ignite was flash in from Jax.
Oh my god, the barrier timing was so perfect there from Choro. He got away with like 1 hit point. Hit the barrier, and now Virgin Eco with no health as well. And ooh, he's the one that tanked the tower. Oh, the poor guy.
Yeah. Oh, Warhawk looks like he's gonna want to danger there. 1 HP on the mount and him. But yeah, that was a really good roam there from Eclipse, knowing exactly when he had the lane priority to be able to leave his Ezreal alone for a little while and head on up for that kill that they definitely would not have gotten without him.
Yeah, and the extra kill there onto Fluffy Buns does give a little bit, a small advantage here over to the Conqueror squad, but good engage there.
Warhog going in with hitting the Q, Bear Trap on a rope. Will not have the damage to kill Renekton. Renekton actually did not have Flash, but he is able to walk his way out.
Yeah, even without Flash, the ability to just slice and dice, you get 2 dashes out.
Yeah, especially
assuming
if you take Warhog with the tail end of the first one.
Right. I mean, technically, both of these guys do have potentially 2 dashes. Warhog has to hit a champion. Bad player just has to hit an enemy in general, so...
Looks like both PPs will be used, but on the side of Conqueror. Clock going down to the bottom lane, bad player getting back up to that top lane so that neither team misses out on too much farm.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, like, I'm not a huge fan of the teleport on an AD carry, but it kind of makes, in a way, makes sense when Sneaky kind of explained it. He was saying something along the lines of, well, it's a losing matchup, so if I die, at least I'm not giving up experience that way, too, or something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's what he had said.
It was something along those lines. Probably not the exact wording or anything, but it makes sense. But I'm not a fan of it myself, and maybe that's just because of I'm not like a challenger player or anything like that, so...
I do like it on the Ezreal, especially because he likes to back early to get that tier, and the early lane is probably the most important for the bottom lane, stuff like that, because it really sets you up for the rest of the lane to hold that bad player, and Warhawk getting into a little fight. Dude, also Solex and Virginico are going to be tussling it out in the jungle. Both fights will just disband with a quick dash from the Graves.
Yeah, some decent trading here, specifically in the top lane, relatively frequently. Just flashes blown so far, but a lot of trading back and forth, and actually coming out relatively even in most of these trades as of now.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I would say slight advantage. Like, even trades are still advantage to bad player though, because he has just the built-in sustain from Cold Meek.
Warhawk doesn't have it too bad though, because even if he loses Kled, he can still get all that HP back by remounting.
Yeah, he can get Skull back, and that's not the end of the world. Obviously, you
Kled's
get
a very hard champion to kill.
Right.
Speaking of Kled and kill, Fury of the Sand's going to be popped by bad player. Warhawk uses the charge, and it looks like he will be able to hobble his way out. Looking a little worse for wear than bad player.
Yeah, but you saw bad player. Actually, he played that like smart, but you'd think he would have had the kill there. But with the attack speed that Warhawk gets on this Kled, auto-attacking enemy champion gets him his Scarl back a lot faster than, say, if he was to kill a minion. And you saw that bar going up pretty quickly there. Bad player did not want to take that risk of him getting Scarl back, and that would have likely meant his death, so took the safe route.
Kled bar go up is a pretty big monk S for anybody playing against it. Well, once again, Virginico's going to be up on the top side. Not once again, first gank, I believe. But just going to throw out the counter-strike, twist the cane at him, walk away.
Yeah, a lot of trading, a lot of action happening up here in the top side. Warhawk now off of Scarl, gonna have to wait a little bit and stack that back up. Flash was burned on him there, so look for a potential return to the top side from Virginico. Now we have a pause going down.
Looks like Warhawk is lagging.
Leg from Warhawk. Is that why he fell off of Scarl then?
I don't know, but
blame the leg. Blame the leg, Warhawk.
Yeah,
I see
you
it.
Use that excuse. He just got a new PC. He's all set. But I would like to bring up that I am a little disappointed in the bottom lane lack of action from on the side of Cerberus, because I was hoping there'd be a little bit more, or a couple more bindings landing, followed up with the Pillars of Flame.
Yeah, and for Cerberus, small CS advantage here onto Pixel Dreams' brand, but nothing really insurmountable by any means, especially considering you really only have that tier on clock right now. So solid for him to, I guess, keep up in the CS and avoid actually full-on fighting as much as possible.
Yeah, you also have to keep in mind that clock is running Kleptomancy, so if you do look at the gold, they're less than 100 away from one another, even with the 7 CS lead.
Yeah, that's true, too. And actually relatively even, for the most part, across the board, 61s in that mid lane. The jungle, about a 10 CS advantage for Solex's Graves here.
Yeah,
but Virginico does have that kill and an assist, so more than makes up for 10 CS.
Yeah, up about 300 gold on Solex, and then looks like Bad Player is up about 200 gold on Warhawk. Other than that, it's pretty even. Actually, Thresh is up a lot of gold because of that assist too, but other than that, it's not a huge unsurmountable lead like you were saying.
No, and you see about 15 CS here in the top lane in favor of Bad Player, but this wave's been pushing toward Warhawk most of the game. He's sitting up there with, I can't tell from this angle, it looks like probably about 8-10 minions pushing into him. He'll get pretty close to evening that back up if he sticks around in CS as well under tower. I'm thinking that Warhawk probably is going to back after he evens this wave out a little bit, though. I'm thinking Bad Player's probably going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
He's
they're both looking a little worse for
yeah.
wear up there.
Neither of them sitting particularly healthy. Warhawk's got a ways to go before Scarl comes back to save the day again. About half of the cooldown still on Bad Player's ultimate, which would get him enough health back to basically kill Warhog, but not gonna be up in time. I'm thinking Warhog is probably gonna do the back off thing before he gets that opportunity.
Ooh, a little bit of a bug there. I noticed. I was looking to see the difference in cooldowns between the teleport, but it looks like during the pause, if you click on the champions themselves, the little flash cooldown and TP cooldowns, they will continue.
Yeah, they still tick. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. It bothers me.
But Warhog's TP will be up a little bit sooner than Bad Players, so he might stick around, wait for the TP.
That is
true, but I'm just
true.
greedy, so.
See, I do the same. Like, my problem is I do the same thing, and I'm like, well, my TP's up in 30 seconds. This is a cannon wave. I'll wait for, this wave. And that's when I get ganked and die.
Yeah. Always.
It's how it is every single time. And I'm a top laner, so I don't know what wards are.
Yeah.
If anyone in Bronzilla would have taught me.
Yeah, it's like the whole people complaining about school not teaching them how to balance like checkbooks and stuff. I think it's the same way in League. Bronze doesn't teach you the importance of wards.
Right?
Map awareness.
They actually taught me, like, in 5th grade how to balance a checkbook. I don't really,
I
like,
never learned it.
it's not that hard by any means, but, like, why in 5th grade did they, like, teach me that in, like, 9th grade or something?
Yeah.
When I'm, like, gonna be an adult, not when I'm a child and don't care.
I actually did take an economics class, but it went in one ear and out the other. I think I took it because it was an easy grade.
Oh, jeez. That's why I took all of my cooking classes in high school. And I like to eat.
That's what I'm going to be doing in college, culinary.
Oh, yeah?
Stuff like that.
Nice, dude. I used to like to cook. I like that. That was like kind of a side, like when professional football didn't pan out for me because I was unathletic and unskilled. I was like, it wouldn't be too bad to be like a chef or something somewhere. So I thought about doing that for a while, but didn't end up doing it because I'm lazy.
So it looks like he's at 600 ping. He's tried all he can to fix it. He's restarted his computer, his client, and doesn't have a router reset would take too long. So yeah, it looks like we are going to be paused for a little longer. Hopefully
Now they have to.
It doesn't go to 10 minutes.
I was gonna say at 10 minutes they have to restart the game and play a man down or forfeit the game, and obviously, most cases you'd prefer to just play the game out and have a chance of winning. So I'm assuming that would be what ends up happening.
I thought it was at 10 minutes. The other team could unpause it if they chose to.
I think it's at.
If they had to.
I think it's at 10 minutes you're supposed to, but if it goes to 11 minutes, the other team can unpause at will, basically.
Okay.
Without asking for ready checks.
This season.
It did happen one time this season as well, but the ruling was kind of. Like, we weren't 100% sure on the ruling, so it ended up going to like 12 minutes, and nothing was really done about it. It didn't, it made no huge difference. It was like just before the 12-minute mark they got back into it, so we were like, whatever, I guess, not the end of the world.
And it was at the very beginning of the game.
Right, and that was like 2 minutes into the game, if that.
Yeah, I think everyone was still level 1.
Oh, yeah, good stuff. So we should try and get maybe a 100% ruling on that, but I'm pretty sure it was at 11 minutes the other team can just unpause without having to ask for ready checks.
Now we're actually almost getting to that point. 3 more minutes for Warhog to fix his computer issues, and then hopefully his team has no more issues for the rest of the game, but it wouldn't be the ABL without pauses. So.
Oh, absolutely not.
At least it's not the Echo Fox crash that's happening.
So, I guess I don't know. Let's talk mid lane. Let's talk mid lane. We got a couple mid laners with kills here. Which one do you like better going into the mid to late game here? I mean, they're both pretty much dead even.
Yeah. Well, I'd say I do like. If the game goes later, I'd say I do like Swain more because he can become pretty much unkillable and turn the fights on his own. But I just can't go against Vel'Koz. Just the amount of times I've been killed by that damn ultimate.
I know, it's absolutely annoying.
Yeah, the very tip of it too. You're just about to get out.
It is. That is how it always is. You're right at the very edge, about to get out of range, and that's when it's that last little tick. Or the same thing with Ignite. You're like, oh, I'm safe, and then it just has this last little tick. Like, god damn it.
Yeah, I died to I believe it was a Luden's proc earlier. I know Warhog had the same experience where he dodged all the Xerath ultis, and then the last one hit him, and then the Comet killed him, and he was pretty upset about it.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that too. Oh, that's so upsetting. Dying to Comet feels bad. See, the thing with...
They're readying up, but Warhog might not be here.
That is very possible. It looked like he just disconnected again, so... very possibly going to be just trying to play it out 4v5 for the time being. Hopefully he comes back at some point.
And I do know Warhog is a smart player. I mean, he can be very greedy and play very dumb sometimes, but he's a smart player. He knows how to play from behind, so even if he did disconnect for like a minute, I'm not too worried about him. So, but it does look like he's here.
Is back now, it seems. As far as it goes on, okay, yeah, he is up and moving. So he is there. I saw him disconnect. I guess I didn't see it say that he reconnected ever, but
yeah, I didn't see the reconnect either, but I did see him. The summoner has disconnected notification.
Dude, he's botting. This is what the issue is. He had to load the scripts up.
Yeah, it took him a little while to get it running, but the slow startup on those scripts. But he wasn't stomping the lane, so oh no, here they go.
Figured might as well. Oh god, you got the little ankle biters too, or
yeah, I do.
Oh god, dude, my sister's the same way. I get that sometimes.
As long as they don't start howling, we should be
Oh, man. Alright, so... we'll see. Looks like Warhog wants to go hard in this top lane. I don't... It's not, again, not really a one trade either way if I had to pick someone because it stayed somewhat even. Bad player comes out on top because of just the built-in sustain that he has. But...
ooh, looks like we're getting a 3-man in the middle lane. The W going to be slowing... The W plus Vision of Empire going to be slowing him into the line, and Buckshot going to be finishing him off. And that's a 3-man kill on... what's it? How do you pronounce his name?
Solex?
No, Vel'Koz.
Oh, I'm saying Choros. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's right. I'm probably getting it wrong. There's a little accent above the O. I'm just going to say Choros because I'm an American guy.
I mean, the accents are always just because it was taken, right?
Choros.
The original one was taken.
I mean, that's usually the way I take it, but every now and then you get one where it's like, nah, dude, like, that's wrong. And then they get, like, that's the best part, they get, like, mad about it, like, legitimately mad.
Ooh, the charge coming out gonna be, oh, the hook still gonna connect for Eclipse. Warhog's gonna be stunned up by that counter-strike, and it looks like he will go down to Virginico on that with a well-executed dive from the side of Conqueror. But it does look like Cerberus isn't going to waste any time and going to walk down to that Air Dragon and going to take it as the team before.
Yeah, so a good rotation there to go up and grab that Drake, but it looks like they're going to go ahead. Conqueror here is going to grab up this Herald in the meantime. And now that dive was unfortunate for Warhog because he really actually could have gotten away if he had gotten that charge to go off a little bit further.
I'm sure he
just kind of panicked. I'm sure he just hit it, And got it as far as he could away in the amount of time that he was given. Good pullback there. And
looks like Clock is going to go down. Just one more out of the
Clock
grid.
gets
Buckshot going to do it.
Clock gets dove and disappears real quick there.
Oh, end of the line is the Q. What? Okay. Whatever.
I'd just say the dash, the Q, and the auto attack.
Yeah.
And the smoke screen.
Yeah, smoke screen, collateral damage is built. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking. I got you.
End of the line is his Q.
Again, more trading going on up here, and Warhawk trying to get that 4th auto attack off onto Conqueror to get the extra damage, but
yeah.
Conqueror sitting at about half. And
this is the Vel'Koz ult we were talking about. Warhawk does not have charge or flash to get out of this one. Bad player does have flash, however. Looks like Pixel Dreams is here in time. The Grand Passive is going to take him out. Vel'Koz pops the barrier, but Skylar Tune coming up from the river. The flash Q not going to land, but that is going to force the flash out of Choros. So, all in all, decent trade from both sides.
Oh,
no,
actually,
not even. Decent trade from Cerberus.
Decent trade from Cerberus, but definitely could have been even better for Cerberus. Choros timed the flash pretty well there to get away from Skylar Tune's flash and binding. That could have been pretty bad for him. Now, Pixel Dreams is sitting up here with a pretty low health bar, and we have actually Clock and Eclipse heading up to that top side to match. First tower did go over to the bot lane, and I believe Solex was there as well of Cerberus.
I think Fluffy might have even been there, but the Q not gonna go out, gonna hit a minion, really unfortunate, but Renekton will come in with the slice and dice. Q gonna be landing on Renekton, Swin pops the ultimate. Virginico gonna be beating down poor Solex with his staff, and he will go down, but not in exchange for his own life. Rush gonna be pulled back in by Swain. It looks like everybody's just gonna disengage. Vel'Koz still fishing for Qs on the Morgana. They do know Skylar Tune is there.
So a trade of junglers there, but another kill does go over to Fluffy Bunnies here on this Swain, and that's going to be pretty scary going into the late game. You mentioned how great of a late game Swain has, and how easy it is for him to just tank an entire team with that ultimate. This is going to be pretty bad for Conqueror if they let him get too out of hand.
Yeah, definitely. Already got the Raw, got the Merc Treads. Not sure what item he's going to go next. I don't really play Swain. I played him once, didn't work very well.
I'm expecting a Zhonya's Hourglass. That'll get him a little bit longer survivability in that ult, allowing him to get a little bit more health back as well if he does get caught out, or even just in the middle of a team fight if he gets himself positioned well. He can pretty much take focus from the entire team and then Zhonya's and live through it all.
Yeah.
So that's my guess.
That.
At the very least, I'm anticipating a stopwatch. Looks like he's going a blasting wand here, though. Could it be a Rylai's?
That could, yeah, definitely could be.
Very possibly a Rylai's coming out, and we actually see the Rift Herald dropped in the bot lane a little bit. I want to say questionable, but could be baiting someone down to that bot lane to try and push another objective, and he jumps onto Warhog up here.
Yeah, hits him with the counter-strike. Warhawk does land the bear trap on a rope. The charge will connect. That means Fluffy Buns is going to be able to get that express route in there. Virginico will jump over on the Warhawk. The flash bear trap on a rope does not land, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Warhawk should be able to take him out with the pocket pistol. And bad player going to come in to try to save his teammate, but a little too late. Will get out. True Shot Barrage comes down. Not going to do a lot. Not going to connect on the Warhawk, who probably would not have died anyway. It's going to be a 1 for 0 on the side of Cerberus.
1 for 0, and good damage on the bot turret, but does not get low enough to take it. Now engage here in the mid lane.
Yeah, Solex flashes in onto Choros. A lot of skill shots go wide, but Brand will pick up the kill with the Pillar of Flame in the end. And
no CC needed when the damage is there, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what concerns me about Choros in the mid lane. While Vel'Koz can be really scary when he's ahead, he's also really positioning dependent. So if he gets caught out, he gets blown up.
Yeah, there's not a lot Vel'Koz can do to get a ton of people off of him.
Outside of just that knock-up and just killing them before they can kill you. But when you've got 3-4 people on you like that, it's usually not going to be a good time for you.
Yeah.
Oh, my least favorite but favorite Morgana skin.
The
back.
Shout is obnoxious.
The recall is so annoying, but it's so fun to annoy other people with it.
Yeah. One of those things you hate when it happens to you, but you can't help but love doing it to others.
God, one of those hypocritical things. I love it.
It's like Warhawk will connect the queue, but that player just going to walk out of it. Not a lot going to happen from that. In the bottom lane, another bear trap on a rope will land. Another tether broken. But it looks like Cerberus is grouping as a unit in the mid lane, which I will say they've been doing, in my opinion, a better job of grouping up as a team than Conqueror has been doing this so far this game. Just some of those 3 or 4-man death squads they've been assembling. And it looks like it will be Cerberus starting up this Ocean Drake.
Yeah, and looks like they're going to have 2 Drakes now, an Ocean and an Air Drake for themselves. So they'll have a little bit of extra healing, a little bit of extra out-of-combat movement speed. And a Baron coming up in about 2 minutes. I don't really expect either of these teams to try and rush down a 20-minute Baron.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either.
Should see some vision control starting to pop up around this side of the map, though, to at least be sure so that the other team isn't going to grab it up. I mean, we've talked about just farm scores and just scores all around kind of being even. The gold itself is less than 500, kind of hovering between 4 and 500. At 19 minutes almost, that's extremely close.
Yeah, usually the games in this meta are pretty quick, but when it's this close at this point in the game, it could go on for a while.
This could be as easy as one big team fight turning it in one team's favor, though. And a good knock up there from Choros.
Yeah, good bit of damage there. The ulti, the matter I'm trying to think what it's called. Lifeform disintegration, right? But in the meantime, a fight coming up top. 2-shot barrage and Morgana Binding will both go wide. Clip's gonna get a good play, but that's a really good pyroclasm.
A lot of damage, my goodness!
Brand Passive will take him down with the collateral damage on the assist there for Graves, but it looks like Virginico and Bad Player want to go in. TP from Clock coming up to the top lane. Virginico gonna make it out with a sliver of health. Solek's gonna run away the same, but the auto will finishing him up. And Skyward Tune is forced to run for their lives. The binding will land, and it looks like Skyward Tune might be out. Black Shield gonna prevent any slows from coming in. And it looks like Koros might have bitten off a little more than he could chew there, running into Fluffy Buns, but all in all, a good fight for Team Conqueror. 2-0, I believe.
Good fight for Conqueror. Indeed, picked up a couple of kills for themselves. The problem here for them, though, still kind of sits in the fact that Fluffy Buns is starting to scale up pretty nicely. So they got a very good fight there, and it was definitely much needed. Gave them a small...
Leading a little bit.
A small lead.
We'll put them in a gold lead.
Good knock up there.
Yeah. Pro was forced to cancel the ulti a little early because he didn't want to be grabbed by the Swain.
Right.
Even with the wall there, you have Skyward Tune and Pixel Dreams there on the other side. Those two can keep you CC'd for a while.
Yeah, certainly could have resulted in his own death, but instead does do about half of Fluffy Buns' health bar worth of damage. He's going to be backing himself right now, though. Get himself a little bit more mana and perhaps an item upgrade here.
And yeah, you will be purchasing the Oblivion Orb and the Blue Trinket.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing the double tier build here coming out of Clock's Ezreal. The oh-so-popular build.
Yeah. We'll be going the Iceborne Gauntlet too instead of the Infinity Edge, so his damage will be a little less, but he will have good self-heal. And on his team does have some good heal himself, so I don't know if he needed it, but it is good to chase people down too. My
personal preference is usually for Iceborne Gauntlet, but that's because I don't trust teammates. You're in a team environment here, though, so... Trinity Force's
Yeah,
extra damage. Trinity Force's extra damage could come in handy here. Perhaps more of a comfort thing on his end, though. Can't fully blame him.
2 seasons ago, I was doing both before someone blamed me for it in the game. Like, why are you getting Trinity Force and Iceborne? The Sheen doesn't work twice. And I'm like, I don't know, I like them. But that was my build for like a month before I realized how dumb it was.
Oh god, see, for me, it was like... I remember, because like Trinity Force used to... Because the Phage used to do like a 30% chance of slowing the enemy, right? Like, way back, what, god, that had to be 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, almost, probably.
Yeah.
And they had that on the... Let's see, they had it on the Black Cleaver. They had it on... No, they had it on Frozen Mallet. I think it was Frozen Mallet and Trinity Force they had it on. I don't think... I can't remember if it was on Black Cleaver at the time. But I would...
Brutalizer used to build into Cleaver.
Oh, that's right! That's right, that's right, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it wasn't on the Cleaver, but it was on the Frozen Mallet, and it was on the Trinity Force. And I used to go like Frozen Mallet and Trinity Force, and I was like, but this is an automatic slow. So I want both.
Yeah, so they'll be like double slowed.
Good times when I sucked at video games. I mean, I still suck, just not quite as bad.
Yeah, I'm a little better at League than I was when I started about 7.5 years ago.
Right, right.
Slight improvement.
Not much, but I'm a little better than I was 7 years ago, so...
Yeah, at least I can play Pike now.
I mean, I can play any champion, I just can't promise I'll do well. If
No,
we're
I'm
gonna
just
be...
saying Pike's in the game now. I'm not
Right,
saying I'll do well
just
either.
in general, just in general, yeah, no, he's fun. He's fun, I do enjoy him.
I just got a message saying that I can't play Pike. I was just saying that the champion's available. I'm terrible at him.
Technically, I can. I'm just not good.
But thank you, Samba, for reminding me how awful my Pike is.
Thank you. You're supposed to try and, you know, help me feel a little bit better, but some friend you are. You know, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Ranny wants a shout out. What up, Ranny? Ranny.
Yeah, Ranny.
That guy. So Conqueror going down, looking to start this dragon up, but it looks like Cerberus is going to take that advantage at the Baron pit here.
Yeah, Warhawk will TP out, and not a lot of reliable vision on the Baron.
This is risky business, though. Like,
yeah, they're not doing it at any impressive speed.
for both teams, it's a little bit risky. Like, Conqueror's gonna be face-checking into it, essentially, if they go up to try and contest, and it's taking so long for Cerberus to take this.
Yeah, Jax isn't showing any signs of being in a hurry to get there, so it looks like it will go over to Solex. Oh, that was really close for Clock, but Solex will land the smite. It will be Cerberus' Baron.
Renee. Alright, Renee. Like the one in this game. Good dodge out of that. Virginico coming away with nothing there on that attempt, but it looks like an engage here from Warhog.
Yeah, the charge will go in, the flash binding will cut off Virginico. The Lantern won't be in time.
He got absolutely blown up there, too. Like, the second... Alright, Warhog jumped onto him right away with that charge. Was not able to... Like, the second that landed, he didn't move before he died.
He wasn't able to click the forward.
He did not even move before he died. That's just how long he was CC'd for. So, good pick there. Baron up, and now that...
Good white form disintegration right there. For about
That's so annoying to say the whole ability in a fight.
Yeah. It's up there with Super Mega Death Rocket, but...
Yeah, but that's fun to say.
More fun. Yeah.
That one's more fun, yeah.
Warhawk might be in a little danger there, but the Black Shield will keep him alive. Or at least keep him from getting slowed. And Clock doesn't have the ultimate, so Warhawk looks like he'll be fine.
Yeah, but that's also a nice thing about the Iceborne Gauntlet going the Iceborne Gauntlet here on the Ezreal. Is it's gonna give you more cooldown reduction, so you can spam out those Qs, get more slows. Fun stuff, fun stuff.
That's almost like trying to run away from a Mundo at that point.
Oh god, speaking of Mundo, man, I remember a couple years ago when, god, it would have had to have been what, season was it Season 5 when like Mundo Shyvana was kind of the thing top lane?
It might have been Season 4.
It might have been Season 4. I can't. It was Season 4 or Season 5. Either way, but like Olaf was like a popular jungler at the time as well. And I saw this one time where it was like Mundo top and Olaf in his jungle, and when Olaf ganked for him, it was literally just cleaver axe, and the guy could not move. He was permanently slowed. Like, it was a very slow death, but he couldn't get away.
Slow and painful death. Looks like a team fight will be starting up here with Renekton dashing in, but Swain's popping the ultimate. Warhawk will go down first. Looks like Virgin Eagle will flash out, but it looks like Vel'Koz is going to fall as well. It's a really good pop on a Swain ultimate, takes down 2 more with him. Renekton will be rooted up, stunned, and taken down, and it will be 4 for 2 for the side of Cerberus.
Okay, so a lot happened in those close quarters there, and actually, winner of this fight is actually Fluffy Buns. I mean, overall Cerberus, but Fluffy Buns came out huge in that fight, tanked up a fair bit of damage, and as a couple of members of Conqueror were trying to back away from that fight, he flashed in, blew up his ultimate, died for it in the end, but picked up 2 kills on top of it. A lot of burst damage coming out from him on that ability now. They're going to push in, take that inhib tower, deciding not to push their luck for the inhibitor itself, though, as people are starting to respawn on Conqueror. But we'll go bot lane and pick this turret up as well. Minion wave pushing to their advantage here. Good side wave control from Cerberus before that fight started.
Yeah, and if you look even top lane, they have a good minion wave pushing for them, so they could have gone up there if they chose to, but looks like Renekton will just walk up, clear that, get a bunch of CS.
Yeah, and
Renekton did go the Essence Reaver this
He does, I was just about to mention, does have an Essence Reaver, so if he does get the fight that he's looking for, he should have no problem taking out, say, Pixel Dreams, for example. Really kind of the only one, like, Skylar Toon, I guess, would go down pretty quickly. I mean, it's going to depend on who gets black shielded, too, though, a little bit. Mm-hmm. And how chaotic the team fight is. It's a lot easier to kind of own the backline, the enemy backline, when there's a chaotic team fight happening. It's harder to peel. But,
yeah.
It's kind of a lot of factors that go into that. But should have no problem in a 1v1. When his ultimate is available, though.
Yeah. No one's going to be really fighting Renekton in the 1v1 except maybe Swain. Sorry, my phone is going off. But
yeah,
it is kind of important.
Fluffy could hold his own in that, but I think he's going to be staying with most of the rest of the team here because he is a large part of their team fight, and also the fact that Warhog will have teleport and charge available, so 2 ways of getting into a fight. So
and 1 way of getting out.
1 way of getting out. Who wants to get out of it anyways?
Yeah, that's true. Clayton's passive in itself wants him to be running into the fight, killing himself, so...
Die like a man.
An honorable death. Silver Flame coming out for Pixel Dreams, gonna hit Jax in the bush, slow him down a little bit because of the Rylai's.
Yeah, and he's got a solid 3 out of Spike here. 4 kills for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 4 kills for him, 5 for the Swain. A lot of AP damage going to be dangerous there for Conqueror to look out for.
They're going to be starting up this Infernal Drake here, so both teams have everyone hovering around this, but no contest really happening.
Solex goes in, but it does not get the steal. Hook will go wide. Warhog looks like he wants to force something, but his team's not quite ready there behind him because he did use the charge, but it didn't really find anybody. Another short charge from Warhog.
Yeah, and actually Solex went in there to try and steal that Drake and actually ended up having to use his ultimate to get out of there, so...
yeah, Flash was not up yet for Solex, so he was forced to burn the ultimate. But I'd personally use the ulti before Flash anyway.
Yeah, I'm not good enough with Graves to consistently land it so that I would be going over the wall, though.
Ooh, okay. Warhawk had landed a good bear trap on a rope on the clock, but he was able to arcane shift away, just barely breaking the tether. But that would have been very bad for the Ezreal.
Yeah, but he does have... We've mentioned a few times how strong that Iceborne is at self-peeling.
Yeah.
So he does have that available to him.
Speaking of Solex's flash, he will use it to get over the wall, trying to get down Virginico. Warhog will be running him down with the help of Solex and Fluffy. It looks like Virginico will go down pretty much for free, the cost of Solex's flash.
Baron will be up here right this second.
Time for your jungler to die.
Looks like Cerberus is going to start it up right away. We're going to see what Conqueror does to try and stall this out. They know that they're there.
Yeah, they also know that they don't have a jungler, though. Ezreal and Vel'Koz do have good steal potential. Even Thresh could get it with the hook. But they don't have consistent vision of the pit because of that nice control ward. Warhog will be screaming charge, getting his team in there. Will connect onto the clips on the Thresh. Vel'Koz also perfectly positioned in that little corridor there. Warhog will go down. Fluffy forced to flash out. Solex going to be dashing into the front line. Pixel comes very low, but here comes Bad Player into the back line. Fury in the Sands coming in to call the meek, but it will not be enough. He will go down to the lane. Looks like it's just going to be a 1-for-1 there. Warhog for Bad Player. But it is. Importantly for Conqueror, they do get Cerberus off of that Baron.
1-for-1 in that fight, but Cerberus are the ones that engaged it, so yeah. They pick a fight when they had the Baron potentially in their sights. I want to say, kind of lost that fight, considering that they were actually a man up, and they all walked away with pretty low health bars. Actually, it was Choro that really ultimately won that fight, landing a really, really good disintegration rate there.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they turned, too, because Virginico was dead there. So it was, for the most part, a quote-unquote free Baron, assuming that Solex could land a good smite, which he has shown that he's able to do.
Yeah, and as Quadra is saying, we mentioned, you know, it was a 4v5, like, but on top of that, even more so, it was the jungler that was down. There was no smite from Conqueror available. Like, it would have been really hard for Conqueror to really even contest that Baron. Good on them. Good on them for stalling it out, though.
Just seeing in chat, someone mentioned Eclipse's vision score. That's crazy. 108 at 33 minutes. This level of play.
He's got to be running. He's got to be running the Ghost Ward or whatever.
Yeah, that would help. Definitely would help.
Pretty insane vision score there.
Yeah, I think Conqueror is trying to get some mid priority here with Solex and Pixel trying to get a little go around the side a little bit, but it will result in the wave finally pushing. Pushing a little bit towards Cerberus before they are able to clear it out. Warhawk's pushing in that bottom lane. Renekton will have to recall, deal with that minion wave. And it looks like they're going to be teleporting right up to the Baron. So while Renekton's clearing the wave, he does have teleport to join. So, but it will be Baron started up for Cerberus.
Another great Vel'Koz ult! Yeah, oh my goodness!
Single-handedly chunks the team low, gets them off. Renekton did use his TP, but might have not needed to because of how good that disintegration ray was.
And now it's actually Conqueror on the Baron!
Yeah. Some good damage going out onto Eclipse there. The stun not quite going to connect, but looks like 4 members of the team will have to back off with Bad Player being forced to dash out of the back of the pit.
Yeah, and we have actually...
now just poking around that Baron.
Bot lane wave here is actually pushing in favor of Cerberus, whereas top lane wave is pushing in favor of Conqueror. Small advantage there to Cerberus because they can answer more easily to that wave push, whereas someone from Conqueror will have to go back and deal with that at some point.
It looks like Bad Player's going back for it right now. Bad Player over Nico.
Interesting, because Clock does have the teleport available. I would almost say let him go deal with that, and then yeah, that is actually what it looks like they're doing. So it looks like Virginico and Bad Player were probably just backing to buy an item, get some health back, and go back to quite possibly just the Baron dance for a little bit longer. But Dragon here is coming up in about 15 seconds. So that actually could be the site of our next fight. Stepping to the other side of the map. 36 minutes.
Yeah, a very long game for patch 8.12.
And such a close game. Even still, around, I mean, less than 2,000 gold separating these teams. 1.5 to 2,000 gold here.
Yeah, and 2 dragons.
Hovering in that area. Yeah, 2 drakes apiece. Very, very close game. This is what we come for.
It's like, Eclipse will get stunned up. Grand Passive will go off on him. Warhawk going to be forcing the charge into the counter-striking Jax. We will be stunned. Bear Trap on a rope will land. Virgin Eagle into the back line, but another good life form disintegration ray going to be going in. Warhawk will go down. Fluffy Bun's popping the ulti, but he's not really in good position to be using it. So X going to be dashing forward. It's a good hook lands onto Fluffy, but Fluffy will flash in and pop the ultimate. No one going to go down just yet. Zonia is being forced out. Fluffy with the black shield will not be pulled in by the Thresh's Dark death sentence. But another pretty chaotic fight there, ending in a 1-for-1. Unless Solex has something to say about it, the root onto the Ezreal, the pull from Swain, and it looks like Clock will be going down. The tether on Bad Player, not quite going to stun him up, because he will be able to slice and dice his way out. But, ooh, that was a close Dark Binding onto the Thresh there.
Dark Binding just missing off the backside of that fight. And these fights are so insanely close. That one just 1-for-1. Actually, Conqueror almost came away with the oh no, 1-for-2, my apologies, in favor of Cerberus. Conqueror almost coming away with that, but the quick turn here from Cerberus actually managed to pick themselves up.
I wasn't a big fan of where Swain used his ulti, but he did have the flash, so he was able to get in the thick of things towards the end of it, and when he needed to pop it. So he did get some really good damage off, and it was really clutch. Zonia's keeping him alive along with that black shield. Yeah, and it looks like with these double needlessly large rods, he's going to be going for that death cap as his next item. Should be finishing that up here shortly, and that's going to be pretty insane amounts of damage when he gets into the... I mean, we see what he's doing when he pops that ultimate in these fights already. Now multiply that by... add like 30% to it. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage.
You're not... If you're Clock right now, or if you're Choros right now, you're not safe if you get snared. Yeah, really by anyone, because yeah, he can just pull you back. Doesn't matter who snares you. That's the sad part, is any CC.
Yeah. Like Graves and Warhog will be taking that dragon down. 39 minutes. Is it the Elder? Yes, it is the Elder, and it's 1,000 away. Doing it right on top of a ward. For us, almost getting this deal with the Vel'Koz ulti, but will be secured by Solex. Warhog just going to walk away. Solex not quite getting over the wall with the ultimate, but his dash will come out, and he will get to safety.
Yeah, it looks like the Hourglass active is up here, so with that Drake, look for Cerberus to probably try and force a fight here.
Yeah, Charge is up, Warhawk's TP is up soon, Baron is up, so that might be just the opportunity that Cerberus is looking for to close out the game.
Could even potentially force the Baron here, absolutely. Now, Conqueror will know they do have that Scuttle Crab topside taken. Good engage there from Warhog.
Yeah, Warhog charging on the Virgin Eco will jump out. The Dark Binding will land, pulled back by the Swain, but the Lantern will take him to safety. Warhog gonna dash into the middle of the enemy team, does not have any life insurance there, but looks like he doesn't need it. Fluffy's gonna take out one, Pixel gonna take out one, make that two. And that will be the mid inhibitor, but just Clock and Eclipse, the bottom lane for Conqueror left alive, and that might actually be the game.
Could very possibly be the game indeed. Great engage there from Warhog. Leads to the fight one. And very possibly the game here. Ultimate coming out there from Clock doing little damage. Very little damage, and that will actually be the game.
I think it triggered Solex's Hex Drinker, but nothing else. And GG's in the chat. That will be game one going over to Cerberus.
Very close game there, and now 6,000 gold lead at the end for Cerberus. But that game was within 1 to 2,000 gold up until that pretty much that last fight. Like when Cerberus took that Drake, and then that fight happened just shortly thereafter. Up until that point, it was about 1.5 to 2,000 gold.
Yeah, game. Just taking a look at the damage chart real quick. Wow. Vel'Koz doing a lot of damage that game, 43k.
Yeah, you can say that.
Not show that if you looked at that damage chart before the or after the game without knowing the outcome, I would personally think Conqueror won, but just better team fighting, I guess, for the side of Cerberus. We'll let them take that one.
Damage is
Yeah.
not everything,
Yeah, in a
as it
quick
turns
40
out.
minutes.
Alright, I gotta see Vision score here because it was about 106 there. 136! Oh, man.
Oh yeah, he blows everybody else out of the water. We're kind of not too far behind him, but
Honestly, like, 93 is good. Like,
yeah,
there's absolutely nothing wrong, but that's just it. 136 is just an insane score. On an entirely different level with that, let's take a quick look at control wards. 19. 19 of them!
wow.
Oh, man. And no slouch there on the Morgana with 13 as well. 9 on the Graves. So, decent warding here from both squads.
Yeah, Vision was really good that game, but again, it was a very close game up until that last little bit where Cerberus started to take over. A couple good team fights from Fluffy and some good engages from Warhawk really kind of led them to victory that game.
Yeah, and there were some good fights there from Conqueror as well. Just kind of got to a point where really Fluffy just kind of did a little bit of sustaining with his ult, and then just the burst damage off the backside of it really kind of helped, I guess, put those fights over the edge toward the end of the game. Good engages from Warhog you mentioned as well there at the end.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to take a very short break here. And then we will be back with Game 2 here between Cerberus and Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully no 10-minute pauses.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like we are back here. I'm going to stop the music here. Looks like everybody seems to be ready. We are going to be jumping back into the Champion Select here in just a moment for Game 2. What did you think after Game 1 there, Jihoon? What do you think needs to be changed going into Game 2? Do you think the bans stay pretty much the same? Was there anything that you think is worth banning?
Maybe the Swain. I don't think Cled's worth banning. I think pick around it. Renekton, maybe not the best matchup for them, but other than that, I think the Prick and ban was pretty good. I think Conqueror just needed to play to their draft a little bit more. Just talking to some people in Discord during the break, and they were mentioning how they don't think that Conqueror played to their draft at all, because they had more of a split push comp and they just weren't split pushing. But
yeah, very true, and I agree. I think maybe the Swain probably the only thing worth considering. Now I don't know that they even really necessarily ban that one, because they'll have first pick. They can grab it up if they want to play it, and also just because I feel like they still had some fights that went into their advantage, and it was such a close game with just a couple misplays. You mentioned, excuse me, like just not quite playing to their team's win condition, the way that they maybe should have, and that very easily could have turned the game had they decided to maybe keep bad player out in a side lane, just pushing with the Renekton. And granted, he spent some time after the lane phase on the side lanes, but there was a lot of team fighting that happened as well, so...
Yeah, I can't give him too much of the benefit of the doubt there, though, because Warhawk did find time to split push while also being the main engage for his team. So, I mean, he played well. Everybody played well. It was a close game. But, yeah, if they want to do a split push comp, they should execute it better. And if they're going to not, then if they're not gonna split push, then draft accordingly. So it looks like we are in Champ Select. There will be Aurelia banned away once again.
Yeah, again, not overly surprised to see that dropped.
I believe Zinzao was banned last time as well. So ban's looking the same so far.
Yeah, looking identical so far. Zinzao was taken off the board, yes.
Oh, looks like Pixel's brand is banned away this time. Don't want any more of that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised to see it banned away. Now, it was pretty obnoxious, and he did really well on it. I feel like that's one of those things maybe they do run it 2 games in a row. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like that's something you see once and maybe it's a one-time thing.
Yeah, but just in case, I can see
Just
what
to
they
be
did.
on the safe side, maybe don't have an idea of what to play to counter it. Very possible that they could steal away the Swain. I mentioned last Champ Select. It's a very good flex pick that could go into a couple different roles, but instead they're going to lock down that, or lock in the Gangplank. More than likely here going to bad player, but I guess I can't guarantee anything. We've talked about how screwy the meta is currently, so could easily see that in the mid lane or even bot lane. I guess it wouldn't surprise me too much in any of the three roles right now.
Looks like Warhawk going to be locking in the Trundle. Probably ish, or maybe going to go over Solex. I do think Trundle's one of the best junglers right now.
Yeah, and Trundle has been one of the better junglers for quite a while. It can go top, but I agree it's very likely to go over to Solex here. And I believe we saw Solex play that. I want to say he was playing it in the playoffs last season and did so pretty successfully. Now,
Yeah.
Talia here locked in. Is this going to be the jungle Talia that we've seen popping up here this past, what, 2 patches?
Yeah, it looks like it. I kind of afraid to see it because I know that is the reason there was that whole LCS crash and it was disabled. Talia Jungle was disallowed in competitive, but that was also a patch ago, so it might be fixed by now.
Did get a little bit of a nerf to it once Riot realized what was going on with that. But the Ornn here is going to be locked in, which means that the Ornn is very likely going to go over to bad player.
It could go to Eclipse.
It could. I guess you're not wrong. I can keep my mouth shut because this meta is so screwy that anything could really go anywhere.
I mean, heck, that Braum could be mid. Probably not, because I haven't seen the funnel strat onto a Trundle before, but if Trundle's top, you never know. Graves was taken away, though, so it's unlikely. And
something to make a note of here, now we've got Vladimir, which I talked about, I believe in the early part of last game, how annoying that is to go against Vladimir in bot lane and just feeling so helpless. Just feeling so helpless against it. I wouldn't even be slightly surprised to see Pixel Dreams take this. He had no problem grabbing up the Brandon, pulling that. And actually it was Solex that locked the Brandon for him. Solex very possibly locking in the Vladimir for him as well. And yes, the Swain you mentioned being taken off of the board. Oh no, I believe Solex actually locked in the Swain last time. You know what? Scratch that. I think I was wrong. I think I'm wrong. But regardless, Swain taken off the board. Didn't want to pick it themselves. I'm actually a little surprised that it didn't get grabbed up again, as Fluffy did pretty solid on that last game. Now we have all right. Now they're toying with me a little bit. They got the Jax, they got the Trundle. This really, honestly, could be either of them in the top, either of them in the jungle. I feel like Trundle's just been more of a jungler than a top laner lately, and Jax has kind of gone to either, so I'm assuming this is going to be a Jax top and Trundle jungle still, but Mordekaiser bot lane, AD carry, or is this one of those, like, mid lane? Because I've seen it popping up in the mid lane and in the bot lane.
Sticks here. I have no idea.
Like Fiddle Mord bot, I guess that could make it pretty easy for Mord to get off that third auto attack and just really do a bunch of damage. It is going to be the Fiddle locked in, so this is going to be a little bit interesting here. Looks to... now, alright. My guess is this is going to be Fiddle Mord bot, Ornn top, Gangplank mid. And then the Talia, of course, in the jungle, that being said. But it's actually pretty hard to say here. Could easily be Gangplank bot lane as well, though I feel like Gangplank probably wants to kind of be on his own once he gets that level, I believe it's 12 with the 13, 12, 13, I can't remember. One of the two. I'm a Gangplank main and I just lose track, but with the barrels it becomes pretty obnoxious. And actually Zoe locked in, so it is indeed going to be the Vladimir Braum bot lane. Alright.
Jack's top, Trundle jungle.
Okay, yeah, I kind of assumed that just because I feel like you've seen Jackson either. But
it is actually going to be Koros on the Gangplank mid or on top.
All right. So we got the Orn top, Gangplank mid. That was what I predicted. It's like I'm a genius. So I'm a meta.
Yeah.
I'm a meta master. I'm just kidding. This meta sucks. Where I can eat a fat one, honestly. Oh man. All right. So actually, it looks like Pixel Dreams is going to be going with the teleport as opposed to the heal here. I don't really. I don't blame him for going teleport by any means. I'm just venting my frustrations with how much healing goes into it when he has heal. Now I'm wondering, because I haven't actually like paid that close of attention to like what the runes are when Vladimir goes bot. Is it possible that he's going spellbook? He could swap out for ghost or heal later on.
I see mostly electrocute.
Okay, okay.
He could be doing spellbook.
Because I know
I do like TP.
I know I did see electrocute once, but I guess I haven't really paid attention to if that's the common thing or not.
Yeah, that's what I've seen the most. But
and actually, Clock is going with the exhaust here, whereas Eclipse is running the ignite. Interesting. I guess partially because Mordekaiser is going to spend most of his game kind of in melee range, whereas Fiddlesticks will, at least until he ults, stay back. For the most part, pretty squishy, so he's basically going to get blown up if he gets caught out. I'm one of those people that doesn't like to grab ignite on squishy ranged champions most of the time. I guess you can get away with it with Fiddlesticks, but I don't think you're going to make much use out of it early on. I think that's more for when you hit 6. I might be completely wrong. We might see some pretty sweet early action, and I'm kind of hoping we do.
Yeah, I agree. I hope there's more of a snowball going on this game. I don't know if I'm ready for another 50 minutes, 40 plus a 10-minute pause.
Well, yeah, that didn't. The 10-minute pause certainly didn't help with that. But last game, a lot of trading happening up in the top lane. I don't know that we're going to see much happening in the bot lane this game either, with Pixel very likely just wanting to scale up for a little while here. I suppose there is the potential with a gank here coming in from Solex to catch out Eclipse or Clock, really. Probably Eclipse because he's a lot squishier. Mm-hmm. But in most cases, I'm assuming we're going to see Pixel Dreams wanting to just farm it up for a while, hit that first, second item before he tries to take too many fights, at least get his ultimate.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually think the lane to watch here is going to be mid lane, Gangplank versus Zoe.
I have a weird feeling about top. I feel like Bad Player and Warhawk are going to be clapping at each other the entire lane.
And they spent most of last game doing that, but I'm curious to see if they continue to try and do that, or if they just kind of slow it down a little bit this game and try to hit the mid to late game. Now, Jax, of course, likely to start with Triforce. I shouldn't say of course, like it's like the obvious. I'm going to start Triforce every game. God knows, I mean, it's things happen, and I don't play Jax really, so generally the first item on him is going to be the Triforce. I've seen people do other things. I just don't really know why.
It will be Phase Rush on Vladimir, by the way.
Gee, again, like, stop with these. I mean, it's cool. I'm good with it loading fast. But I don't even switch the scene and it's loaded up already, so. Whoa. I'm pressing all sorts of sweet buttons. All sorts of misclicks. Alright, let's do this.
Yep, exciting loading into game 2 of possibly 3 or of 2 of Conqueror versus Cerberus, CER versus CQR.
And Cerberus currently up 1-0 as we get into game 2. looking to close this out in 2 games. Conqueror looking to try and draw it out for 1 more.
I'm just excited to see some good old
Level 1! Level 1!
Yeah, some level 1 cheese going on.
It's what the crowd wants!
Fiddlestick's not starting to fear, surprisingly.
Actually has to start with his jump. The poor guy is going to have a little bit of a hard time here at level 1 in the spot lane. That Winter's Bite, able to put out a pretty solid amount of damage and start up his passive as well. Not going to have that option at level 1, but does manage to get away without having to burn his flash, so I guess not the end of the world.
Minions has spawned.
Minions coming up here, and Solex didn't buy an item. Feels bad. Solex, you poor, poor soul. I think he forgot to buy. I think he forgot to buy. Someone has to have realized by now. I think he realized too late, and he said, "Well, I just got to clear a camp or 2 first." Now,
if he hasn't realized yet, he'll definitely realize when he doesn't get level 2.
Oh, that's right! Oh, he's not gonna get level 2! Oh, the poor guy!
Yeah.
Oh, that so feels bad.
So, yeah, he got the camp and immediately back, pick up his items. Will not be level 2 off that first camp.
So
himself a control ward, though,
So what do you think that was? Do you think that was, like, he knew, like, last second as camps were spawning and said, "Oh god, I gotta do my camp"? Or do you think he realized it, smited the camp, saw that he didn't hit level 2 and was like, "Son of a..."
I think the second one, I don't... personally, I would have rather started a camp leashless and gotten level 2 off of it, because it's going to make the rest of his clear harder, because now he's going to have to clear a camp level 1 anyway.
Yeah, this might just about back up here, but... And I think... maybe... Good counter-strike there in the top lane from Warhog, able to dodge away from that knockback.
Yeah, and also, good... Warhog has a pretty good matchup here into the Warren, because the brittle Q can be, or the brittle auto rather, can be dodged out by counter strike.
Yeah, and that's actually when he's done a pretty good job of doing that so far, and ironically enough, grabbing up the Conqueror rune against Conqueror here, able to trade back some decent damage in this early game. A little bit of trading happening down in the bot lane as well, but nothing too over the top yet, and both of these carries able to sustain relatively easily. Mordekaiser with his W and Vladimir with his Q.
With his entire kit. So
pretty much.
For a gank. They don't know. There's control ward there, so they don't know he's there. Good pillar knocks them both away. Clock looks like he's in some trouble. Might have to burn the flash. Will be taken down by the concussive blows. Looks like he's not even going to blow the flash. That will be first blood for Pixel Dreams on the Vladimir.
Yeah, and actually, ironically enough, Clock almost able to turn that back around for a kill of his own. Good barrel combo here in the mid lane.
Oh, looks like Fluffy might have to burn that flash. Yeah. Good. The Ignite coming through. I don't know if you wanted to step back up, Fluffy. And yeah, he will go down for the second kill of the game, going over to kill for Koros with an assist from Virginico.
Yeah, a little bit over-aggressive there from Fluffy. Did almost pick up the kill there. But almost not quite.
Revenge for his mid laner. Ooh,
good knockback!
Ooh, and they will pick him up. So Solex will go down too, and that's going to be Talia with the kill and Gangplank with the kill.
Great play from Virginico there to save his mid laner and actually pick up the kill on top of it. Some trading happening all across the board right now. Directed camera doesn't fully know where to go. Warhog very low in this top lane, but bad player sitting around up there with almost no mana, so probably not going to be a whole lot happening.
Something I did want to address is that I'm not a huge fan of Mordekaiser Fiddlestick bottom lane. I think there are better supports for Mordekaiser in the bottom lane, like Blitzcrank, Thresh, Pike.
I think just melee. I think a melee would be nice to have with him.
Yeah. Alistair even.
Yeah, just because of that double relic start. Well, not just because of that, but it's nice to have another beefy bot laner there. I agree. I think something that can have some pretty solid CC lockdown that's just got a little bit of beef to it as well. Fiddlesticks,
Anybody
of
that can
course.
let Mordekaiser get the hits off, like a Blitzcrank can pull him to the Mordekaiser, or Alistair can keep him there for a while.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks, of course, does have the silence, does have the fear, so is able to put out a little bit of lockdown, inhibit a champion's ability to move or really do much for a little bit there, but
Like Solex is going to be caught out a little bit here from Virgin Nico, but should be able to walk away, no problem, because the seismic shove did miss from Virgin Nico, so nothing other than jungle spotting there going to take place in that bottom lane. But it was good for Virgin Nico to be there, keep his Fiddlesticks alive after getting his back cancelled.
yeah, and again, we're seeing some trading happening up in this top lane. Small advantage for Warhog here in the CS department, but with this wave pushing in toward bad player, it should be pretty well evened up here in just a moment.
Yeah.
Trades pretty
There's
even.
a lot of minions there, so that player might even come ahead in CS off that wave.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that.
But speaking of CS differences, another Vladimir in that bottom lane with a 7 CS lead over the Mordekaiser, which is expected because it's range versus melee, and Mordekaiser can get bullied out pretty easily. But Fiddlesticks has actually been doing a pretty good job of keeping him there. Fluffy Bun's getting another gank in the mid lane. Seismic Shove gonna pop him right over the unstable Earth. And it will be another kill going over to Virgin Nico. Fluffy Bun's not having the best time on this Zoe.
No, and actually, as we're talking about the CS, that's actually one to mention there. About a 20 CS advantage here for Choros as well. So very solid so far on this gangplank. Got a couple of ganks here from Virgin Nico to help him get ahead, and this is going to be a scary gangplank going into the mid to late game.
Yeah, Gangplank's a champion you don't want getting going early because his late game is scary enough. Another small fight in the top lane. Warhog actually getting the better of that trade, even though a lot of the CC goes over to the side of bad player.
The trade pretty even there. Warhog actually doing a little bit more damage, but getting it evened out a little bit at the end. But just kind of overstaying, taking minions and stuff toward the end of that trade. But
ooh, Pixel and Skylar have to be careful here. Virgin Nico in the bushes. I don't think they know, but I think they have a suspicion.
yeah, very possibly could have an idea that something's going down here. Something smelled a little funny. You're okay.
Yeah, Virgin Nico will show the 1-inch dash from the Braum. Will get him out of harm's way.
Yeah, just didn't quite have the patience there. Possibly looking to go for an invade here on Solex.
Yeah, it looks like they are trying to take away that blue buff, but bottom lane is rotating up, so they will have to back off and let Solex take it.
Yeah, and just clears the ward and able to grab that up for himself here. Looks like he's not giving that over to Fluffy Bunnies.
Dude, that's rough. Fluffy Buns is 2 levels down on Goros right now. It does not feel good being that far behind a Gangplank.
Yeah, and Choros is on pace for about an 11.5 to 12 minute Trinity Force.
Yeah,
which is very early. I would say a good time to shoot for is around 13.
Yeah, agreed.
But looking to be ahead here, and
All of the Forge God is gonna be coming out. He used to one of the people in my Discord playing Realm of the Mad God. Apparently. But,
good.
Call of the Forge God is going to come out, and Warthog will be soloed out by bad player thanks to the ultimate and the Counter-Strike missing. So, it will be the first decent advantage in that top lane for bad player.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of learning from these past trades, where his Brittle was basically being negated by that Counter-Strike from Warhog. Instead of going for that auto attack, he's grabbing it up and then going for the knock-up. And then following it up with the rest of his abilities again. Just kind of baiting out that Counter-Strike and then using the knock-up instead of that knockback. Just guaranteeing that the CC hits. basically. Yep. Clock down here just kind of pushing this wave in permanently. Pixel Dreams doing a decent job of farming this up under his tower, though. Still ahead by a little bit of CS.
Yeah. We'll actually have Did Pixel start boots? Because
Pixel has boots. Yeah, boots and the use of large rod.
Yeah, because just getting the needless, obviously it doesn't upgrade from anything, so...
Right.
I'm assuming it was a boot start, or that or he sold his starting item, which I don't recommend. Warhog.
Oh!
Oh my god, the wall cancels his jump, and it looks like he's just done for. Wonder if Toledo will even get an assist if no damage goes through, but some will, and Toledo will be picking up that kill on the poor Warhog in the top lane. It looks like Skyward Toon's in trouble here too, but Eclipse might be the one going down. The Zonia's being forced out, and looks like Pixel will pick it up with the puddle. It looks like Clock might be in some danger here as well with the empowered Q coming up shortly, but the TP will be forced out, not forced out, being used by Bad Player just to get the bottom lane back off of his AD carry, or AP carry.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, Pixel should have no problem clearing this wave, healing himself up, and actually on his way up to help out in this fight here.
Ooh!
Well played by Skylar! Oh, Skylar! Buddy, on point there!
Blocking the entire threaded volley and the autos, keeping his jungler alive long enough for his health to regen from the ultimate. Wow, it was played incredibly well by Skyward Toon, and deserving the blue buff reward that they received.
Yeah, my god. And the damage from this gangplank! Oh my god.
That does not feel good to be Fluffy Buns right now.
Fluffy is not having fun right now. Down by about 50 CS, 55-ish CS.
Ooh,
where's my math at? 50. My math isn't good. We're at about 50.
No one's coming up to stop Warhog here, and we just saw Bad Player TP to the bottom lane, so he might just be picking up first tower.
Yeah, looks like first tower will go over, and that'll kind of negate that disadvantage she's got up there so far. Did actually start Tiamat for the wave clear. Oh!
Ooh! Call of the Forge God not going to land, or the ulti landed, but the headbutt onto the ulti was not so good, so Warhog will be able to get out of that one.
Man, that damage, even with the Call of the Forge God missing, Bad Player puts out a lot of damage on the back of that trade.
Yeah, the damage Ornn can output is pretty gross.
Why you do this, Rito?
Yeah, for being as tanky as he is.
But regardless,
days where Ornn was unplayable because he was
so
bad.
Yeah. I liked it when they made Ornn, as a top laner, I liked it when they initially made Ornn strong, and then I got sick of the Ornn every game meta.
Yeah. Ooh, looks like Clock will be caught out a little bit here. Good Glacial Fissure coming out, but they see the Weaver's Wall coming down, so they will back off. Pixel might be in trouble. Dodges out on the Seismic Shove, but will be taken down by the Mordekaiser ult, which is called Children of the Grave.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to go and pick up this dragon here. Conqueror, good play there. They'll get a little bit of a pet here for Clock as well.
Yeah, Fiddlestick's getting some of that good suck on the dragon there. Virgin Eco coming over here to the mid lane, whose turret is very low on the side of Cerberus. And the bottom lane turret actually very low as well, so that's going to sidestep the Seismic Shove. Nicely played. Well, the Warhog is here to give Virgin Eagle a good bopping. Koros might be in trouble too if Warhog's jump gets up in time, and 1Q, the orange is going to keep him alive a little bit long. Jump will be off, and Warhog will pick himself up a double kill.
Double kill there for Warhog, and on top of that, he did get the first turret, so that actually puts him into a pretty solid spot here in this game. Did
about 1k up on the one.
Did start the Tiamat, so it will stall his Triforce a little bit, but sitting in a pretty solid spot nonetheless. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, actually Clock taking that dragon down there to help him take that tower out. Good Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Glad we both call it the right thing. I know some people that call it the sleepy bubble trouble, and
I know, it bugs me. It bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah, I can't handle when people do that.
Oh, jeez.
Looks like Bill's
Oh!
over the wall, but he won't get out in time.
That was that was a fun little interact. Like, maybe not so fun for Eclipse, but I kind of enjoyed that interaction because he was still like just stood there ulting still, and I was kind of curious to see if it was still gonna go off if he didn't die, but
I was hoping that he'd stay alive a little longer too. I'm curious to see if he would have continued going, because I know Fiddlestick's ult is cancelable, obviously, because it's the only way to stop it, but Warren ulti going to be coming out blocked entirely by Sour Tune. Pixel Dream's going to be taking a little bit of damage, but Boros as well with the Paddle Star. It looks like bad players in the middle of the wrong neighborhood, and Warhog will pick up a kill on to Clock somewhere. Virgin Nico going to be 1v1ing Warhog, but Warhog might actually turn this with the Counter-Strike stun.
oh my god, Warhog!
Oh, the Flash Fear Ignite, and he will go down. Eclipse not going to let that go unpunished there, but Warhog now at a score of 4 and 3.
Warhog making a big play there. Unfortunately for him, does get ignited by Eclipse. Coming back up just in time to make something happen there, but nonetheless.
For ABL MVP.
But I want to be MVP. Alright, so off the back end of that fight, they did rotate to mid just briefly, but decided they weren't going to get anything there. Rotated back up, grabbed up Rift Herald, and they may look to make something happen in mid with that then.
Yeah, Vladimir coming in, the good flash pillar. Warhog, or no, Braum going to be jumping on the Mordekaiser. Sleepy Trouble Bubble hits. Paddle Star hits as well, and it will be Clock going down. Virgin Nico in a little bit of trouble too, getting hit by the Glacier, Winter's Bite. And Gangplank low as well, both of them being able to walk out easily. For a second I thought they had Baron because of that powered recall, but no, it is just the Rift Herald.
Yeah, only one target on that one, unfortunately for them. But actually pressure being put here into the mid lane from both teams, and it's slightly in the favor of Conqueror despite being down a member right now.
Yeah, they also had a lot of damage on the mid tower already thanks to Boros' efforts in the mid lane with that Gangplank passive, the barrels, and
yeah, and Charles has been having a heck of a game on this Gangplank. Good job blocking out of that, but
ooh, but the block won't be up for the Forge God, so that will be a two-man knockup. The pillar comes out for Orange. Bella's Breath not going to cause a lot of damage there. Pillar not quite going to get anybody either, and it looks like both teams will just back out.
yeah, good job there from Conqueror picking up that mid tower, but not much else coming on the back side of it. They're going to rotate up to this top side and maybe look to catch out Warhog.
Now the Gangplank ulti going to slow him down. Teleport coming out from, I believe, Pixel Premiums. Yeah, he's the only one with teleport. And the Trundle Pillar going to separate the team a little bit. Eclipse in a little bit of a rough spot, but we'll just be hobbling his way out as Warhog back, and maybe TP's back in for a fight here.
Yeah.
Split pushing in that bottom lane, so Warhog might just head down to answer that.
Could look to use teleport in that top lane, but with Baron up here shortly, he's going to probably want to get the spot lane pushed out and be able to join his team with that teleport as needed. Good pillar up there.
Yeah, good pillar. Ornn could have destroyed it, but the what's that? Righteous Glory going to be proc just with a little bit of a slow on the Trundle, and Ornn will walk himself away. No summers being blown.
You know what I miss? Banner of Command, and now is when half the community starts hating me.
Yeah, a lot of people just turned off the stream. Yeah, myself, I'm not a huge... I don't miss it a ton as a support player, being forced into just that item every time.
I don't know what you're talking about. I rush that item every game.
Yeah, I'm sure as a top laner you have your fair share of rushing it as well.
Now, okay, my question is, why did they decide it was so impossible to balance when they could have kept it similar to what it was, but made it like a 2.5 minute cooldown instead of like 90 seconds?
Or just bring back the old banner, the useless banner.
Well, that was part of the problem. Was they said they couldn't balance it. It was either useless or way too powerful. I feel like you just put a longer cooldown on it, so you got to be a little bit more careful about when you use it.
Yeah, I'm not on the balance team, and I probably never will be, so I don't understand the decision entirely. But speaking of decisions, Warhawk just making that instant no decision required, just taking out a solo kill onto Virgin Nico, who I believe we've evolved into the enemy team. Oh, the flash over with this fight, not fighting the land, but Eclipse is still dead to rights as Warhawk autos down the Infernal Drake, being the second dragon of the game.
Yeah, and so despite the advantage here in the mid lane, couple of picks happening from Cerberus in these past few fights, actually ending up with an advantage in their favor. They managed to pick up Infernal Drake there as well, and Vladimir's starting to hit late game, sitting 5 kills, 1 death, 1 assist, about 40 CS up on clock right now. Kind of counteracting that mid lane advantage that Choros has.
Yeah, and Warhawk's got himself quite the advantage up there in the top lane. I believe 3,000 gold, the biggest advantage in the game.
Yeah, and ironic because he did get camped a bit early on, so ironic that he's the one with such a big advantage.
Yep. But he did get first tower, though.
Yes, that is true.
That started the snowball.
That is very true. That definitely helps, especially on something like Ajax. That, especially because he rushed like the Tiamat started with that to help clear waves, helped him get to that Trinity Force faster, and he's got a pretty solid power spike when he gets to that. So. Actually, about a 3,000 gold advantage here for Cerberus, and it looked like Conqueror was going to take over this game earlier on, but Cerberus doing a very good job in these past couple fights and giving themselves a pretty solid advantage here.
They've been playing the mid game really well. Props to Warhog and Pixel especially. They've been playing these team fights outstandingly.
Getting a lot of damage there onto Eclipse.
Yeah, 1 hit away, 1 HP there on Eclipse, running for his life. Maybe not the best spot to back with the wall that Zoe can throw right through, but looks like she's not too interested right now. And Eclipse will just make it back to the base, but some assist pings going up there. Looks like they might want to bait this. Do a little Baron bait here. Warhawk split pushes in that bottom lane. Virgin Nico's going to need to be careful, but the seismic shove catches 2. Good Glacial Fissure keeps 2 down, or knocks 2 up, rather. No block on the Call of the Forge God. Ornn in the back line. Scour Team's in trouble, but the Sleepy Trouble Bubble not quite going to land. Warhog is there. Crowstorm not quite going to kill Warhog. It will! Thanks to that, Zonya's keeping him alive just long enough, but that, in the end of the day, is a 3 for 2, or 3 for 1. And Clock taking a good bit of damage there, but it looks like Solex will probably go down to the Children of the Grave, and yeah, those shields will keep him alive, and that is now an enemy trundle in your backline. Pixel Dreams.
Ooh, Pixel!
Yeah, no pool. He looks like he is going to go down. That was a little greedy from Pixel.
A little bit greedy there from Pixel, trying to stay a little bit too long, and I think he expected to get a little bit more healing than he did, but was not to be there.
I
really
think he wasn't ready for the exhaust.
Yeah. I think the team as a whole just kind of stayed a little too long there. At the end of the day, they came away from that fight with a 3 for 1, but kept on trying to push it. A good barrel took a lot of health away from a couple of the Cerberus members. And Clock able to clean up a couple more kills, and I believe it did end up 3 for 3 at the end of the day. So no huge advantages coming out there, but definitely could have been a pretty significant team fight there for Cerberus had they not tried to push it a little harder.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta know when to back off, but understanding also that it's good to try to press your leads and get as much of a lead as possible, especially in such a snowbally meta.
Yeah, may look to be a little bit more careful with pushing their advantage against a gangplank.
Ooh, that's not good for Eclipse.
That is a one-shot. Oh my god!
Not living with 1 HP this time, so he got a little bit more items, and Eclipse will go down to that.
And you know the sad thing is, I've seen Zoe's do that so many times, and every time I see it, I'm still like, oh my god, that damage.
Yeah, it's surprising every time. Unless it's like the 5th time it's happened to you in a game.
Then it's just irritating.
Yeah. Looks like that player will be cut out a little bit here. The pillar gonna keep him from going anywhere. Warhawk got him locked up, and that's done, and Solex will pick up the kill. A little bit of a positioning mistake there by bad player, being in his jungle when they don't have great vision control of it. They actually did have a ward that spotted out of most of the members of Cerberus, but...
Nice little knockback there. Actually, we have Skylar Toon walking away with a pretty low health bar. Looks like they're not going to try and force it as hard this time around. Perhaps a little bit of PTSD from the last fight, just taking the 1 kill they had, and got a little bit of damage on that top tower as well. Bot lane pushing pretty hard here against Cerberus. They're going to have to send someone down there. They have teleport available for Pixel Dreams, not for Warhog, so I expect to see Pixel Dreams being the one to respond to that.
Yeah, just Conqueror using this time to clear out the Baron vision, because they know most of Cerberus has to back, or at least play further back, because they are a little bit lower on the back end of that fight. And you have to remember, Conqueror does have that 1-0 strike to keep them sustained a little bit. Well, Warhawk going in on clock here will be ulted and flash into the bush to try to lose vision, but Warhawk might go down here. Oh, the Forge God will hit him. He might go down to Children.
Oh, the block!
Breath not quite. Skylar 2 with another great block.
Wow, actually, Skylar Toon, like, positioning really, really well in a lot of these fights, saving teammates on multiple occasions here with that shield, with that extra resistance that he's able to give by jumping to them.
Yeah, the unbreakable plus stand behind me combo keep the people alive. And the beginning of the game when he saved Solex's life.
Good positioning from Skylar Toon this game, indeed so. Drake is up, could see a fight happening around here. Bad player going down, definitely knows it's going on, but he's the only one there right now.
Be here for this fight, but it looks like Conqueror is just going to concede it anyway, unless the Talia steals it with an amazing smite there from Virgin Eco, but it looks like he might go down to the sleep. Oh, very close. The Fiddlestick surprise ults into the middle of the fight. Pixel Dream's gonna fall very well. Force the Zonias. Does he have cool? If not, he is looking like he is dead. Warhawk finally gets here with an amazing 3-man stun, but he will be exhausted down. That is a double kill for Warhawk, a triple kill for Warhawk. Clock not long for the world, and that will be
wow, Quadra Warhawk! So, good steal there, but man, at what cost if they could have just gotten out? It would have been an extremely solid play, but did take a fight, and it looked like where Pixel Dreams positioned was actually going to be the downfall of Cerberus in that fight, but a lot of damage put out there, pretty much across the board.
Come away with the quadra kill. I do think a lot of credit has to go to Fluffy Bun, because in my opinion, what won them the fight was the bubble that he landed onto Virgin Eco, because
without a doubt, and he's been on point.
The other 3 members of the team had to group around to try to block the skill shot, but by doing that, they give Warhog the perfect opening to get a great counter-strike off.
Yeah, and Fluffy Bun's extremely difficult early game for him, but coming around pretty strong here, going into the later part of this game. Landing abilities with ease, and really kind of helping his team out in these team fights, getting picks, locking down key targets. It's all you can ask for out of, well, I mean, Zoe can one-shot them after it, but just anyone in general.
Virgin Eco caught out here by the pillar. The bubble not quite going to land, but he still will go down to the queue, paddle star.
And it's actually at a point where Warhog can kind of take the fight of his choice with Bad Player up here in the top lane. He's pretty far ahead, has the Triforce, has the Titanic Hydra, has the Randuin's Omen, and he has Conqueror, so should have no problem taking fights against Bad Player up here with that percentage of health. Oh my lord!
Clip's taking a lot of damage there, but Warhog and Bad Player fighting the bot side. Clip.
Why is that allowed?
Yeah. Not Glacial Fissure. Winter's Fight gonna land in the bottom lane. Follow the Forge God, not going to do anything. Warhawk jumps away, but he still might go down to the turret. Looks like he will.
Good ult there.
Boros in the 1v1. Whips
Oh!
to Zoe again, and he will go down.
Airy! Was that Airy that got the kill? Dude, that was Airy that got the kill. Scumbag Airy.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
guacamole. And Warhog just kind of having his way with this game. A little bit of a rough early game as he got camped, but as he mentioned, that first tower gold he got really helped him get back into this game, and I mean, you see where that got him 11-4 and really having no issues taking 1v1s now.
Yeah, it's a lot has gone on in recent events, but Elias Weaver's wall
Oh!
that we might have had the action. Zoe's Sleepy Trumpet Bubble will come in, be blocked by Koros. That Sour Tune is no longer isn't much longer for the world, but Warhog in the backline will take out a massive amount of damage and take out, I believe it was Virgin Eco, but will be feared and killed. Well, Pixel Dreams falls to the Children of the Grave.
Yeah, so as it turns out, Cerberus may have overstayed their welcome a little bit in that fight, but with the 2 inhibs that they took, almost managing to even get that bot lane inhib tower out of it, I would say probably worth it. Yeah,
definitely a worthwhile grid. While you don't want to give the other team ways back into the game, like you want to avoid that at all costs, they still got a lot out of it. Their lead is still no less great at about 10,000 gold.
I'm actually being told that kill was taken with more sparkles. Not Airy. Feels bad. I really wanted that to be Airy. Why you gotta ruin my dreams? Ruining all my dreams. I actually just want to see one of those scumbag comet kills. But, not to be this game, no one's running it, so feels bad. So, if you're Conqueror right now, what do you do to come back into this game? They looked like they were going to have a really strong early game, but I mean, and at this point, of course, you've got 2 inhibs down to worry about, so you're going to have to stall it for a while, but I feel like they just need to look for a wombo.
I say what you do is farm supers for as long as you can and get Gangplank as much gold as you can get them. And maybe land a great Fiddlesticks ult, 5-man or something, with the Gangplank ulti comboed in, and you might have a chance to win a team fight, but 10,000 gold is 10,000 gold. That's a lot to come back from. And League officials deemed it unwinnable for Clutch Gaming in this same scenario.
I don't know that it's unwinnable, but...
Yeah. Oh, that might be the Fiddlesticks ulti they're looking for. This Zonius chunks most of Cerberus, but it looks like he will fall down to the Zoe. Warhog beating on Chorus in the back line. He's going to jump over the wall onto that ward, smack him down, but he might not get it. There he goes. Lock's going to be stunned up with a counter-strike, and Warhog will pick himself up a double kill. And that looks like the end of the game. GG's in chat. The ace for Cerberus, and that will be the 2-0.
Alright, so... good early game there from Conqueror, but honestly, a big part of this, Warhog getting really, really far ahead. Able to take the 1v1s after a little bit. The mid-game came along and got his split push on, joined the team fights when he needed to, and came out huge in a couple of those team fights. I think that was kind of the big turning point. Now, of course, Fluffy Buns, we mentioned a couple times, he was extremely far behind in that early game. Choros was, I want to say, like 50 CS ahead. But he was still able to get to a point where he was one-shotting. Eclipse was really... Eclipse and Virgin Eco he could pretty much one-shot, but the rest of the team pretty beefy. But even still, like, starting off as far behind as he did, he came back pretty strong there.
Yeah, I will have to give my series MVP, I will have to agree with the Twitch chat, and probably give it to Skylar. His engages were great, both games, and like Warhog is a close second, in my opinion. But just the 2 games combined, like, look at that KDA, it speaks for itself, 2-0 and 19. That's
yeah.
the best game if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Skylar definitely a standout player in this series here. We saw a few times that game just great positioning, right place, right time, able to barely save a couple of his teammates a few times throughout that game. Yeah, just great play all around, but I think standout player would probably go to Skylar here.
Yeah. Again, Warhog, in my opinion, close second. Coming up with that clutch quadra kill. Great engages in the first game. Fluffy doing his job, pulling more than his one way. Solex with some great pillars. The Pixel Dreams is good team fight damage. Like, they all played great. And I think Conqueror played to the best of their ability too, but today Cerberus was the better team.
Indeed, I agree. I don't know if we're supposed to do... Are we supposed to do an interview? I didn't last week. I didn't last week, but I'm new to this streaming thing.
Yeah, I did my first stream like 2 days ago.
I shouldn't say streaming in general, just streaming for this sort of an organized casting deal. They keep asking me last minute. So I'm extremely unorganized, and I apologize for that, but get the job done. Alright, so I think that's going to about do it for us here tonight. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Really, really do appreciate it. I guess I don't know what's going on with the other series. Not sure if that one's done yet or not.
It is over. SKZ took a 2-0.
Okay, so SKZ getting the 2-0 in the other series here tonight. So I guess I'm not going to tell you to go check that one out after this, but I will just say thanks for stopping by and watching tonight. Really appreciate it. Have an awesome, awesome night. Have an awesome rest of the week. We'll see you next Monday night. I believe it's All-Star Week next week, so I believe... Is that still Monday night then? I think it's Monday night still.
Not sure, but don't forget to vote for your All-Stars. Link is somewhere in the announcements with the ABL Discord, I believe.
Pay attention to the Discord and the website for when that actually is. I want to say something's Monday, but either way, yes, as you mentioned, don't forget to vote. Do your duty as citizens. Go vote or whatever. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Yep.